All India Radio presents Morning News. Good morning. I am Lalema Aneja Dang. The headlines. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to address plenary session of 5th Eastern Economic Forum at Vladivostok in Russia. Holds bilateral talks with his Japanese counterpart Shinzo Abe. India and Russia call on international community to set up united front to fight terrorism. A team of Ministry of Development of North-Eastern region to visit Jammu and Kashmir today to suggest new development initiatives. Punjab Chief Minister orders magisterial inquiry into Batala firecracker factory blast. Teachers' Day being celebrated today, President Ram Nath Kovind to confer national awards to teachers. And British Parliament rejects Prime Minister Boris Johnson's proposal to hold general election next month. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will address the plenary session of the 5th Eastern Economic Forum EEF at Vladivostok in Russia today. Mr. Modi is attending the EEF as the chief guest at the invitation of Russian President Vladimir Putin. The EEF provides a platform for discussing issues aimed at expanding international cooperation in Asia-Pacific region and developing the economy of Russia's Far East.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi's participation in the Eastern Economic Forum as the chief guest is expected to open a new chapter in India-Russia relations. The EEF, which commenced in 2015, aiming development of Russian Far East region, has now emerged as a multilateral platform providing trade and investment opportunities. This region has been receiving investments from China, Japan and Korea, but Indian presence was limited so far. Mr. Modi's visit on Putin's invitation has now given a scope for Indian businessmen to tap the opportunities in the resource-rich Far Eastern region. A large Indian delegation is in Vladivostok now, and several business-to-business agreements are expected to be signed today. With Sanjeev Kumar Singh, Suprashanti for AER News from Vladivostok, Russia.
Prime Minister Modi held bilateral talks with his Japanese counterpart Shinzo Abe this morning on the sidelines of the EEF summit. Mr. Modi also held talks with Malaysian Prime Minister Mahathir Mohamad. Mr. Modi will also visit the Indian Business Pavilion in Far Eastern Federal University campus today. The Prime Minister arrived in Vladivostok yesterday on a two-day visit to Russia. Mr. Modi held comprehensive talks with Mr. Putin at the India-Russia 20th Annual Summit at Vladivostok. Addressing a joint press meet with Mr. Putin after their talks, Mr. Modi said the talks were aimed at finding new horizons of India-Russia cooperation.
हमने भारत के फ्री, ओपन और इंक्लूसिव इंडो पैसिफिक के कंसेप्ट पर भी उपयोगी चर्चा की। हम सहमत हैं कि साइबर सिक्योरिटी, काउंटर टेररिज्म, एनवायरमेंट प्रोटेक्शन जैसे क्षेत्रों में भारत और रूस का सहयोग और मजबूत करेंगे।
A joint statement issued later said that the two leaders decided to take the bilateral trade from the current $11 billion to $30 billion by 2025. Russia will also help train Indian astronauts for the manned space mission Gaganyaan. The two leaders strongly condemned terrorism in all its forms and manifestations and called on the international community to set up a united front to fight against this evil. Russia also expressed its support for India's candidacy for a permanent membership of the UNSC. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh has said that spectacular progress made by South Korea over the past few decades has been a source of inspiration for India. He was addressing the Seoul Defence Dialogue in Seoul this morning. Mr. Singh reached Seoul on a three-day visit to South Korea yesterday. He also said that the synergy they see between India's Act East policy and Korea's New Southern policy has further strengthened their special strategic partnership. He said India has always supported all efforts to bring about peace and stability on the Korean Peninsula and denuclearization through dialogue and diplomacy. Earlier, the visiting defence minister met Prime Minister Lee Nak-yeon. A high-level team of officers from the Ministry of Development of North-Eastern Region, DONE, will visit Jammu and Kashmir today. The purpose of the visit is to look into the new reforms and best practices that can be introduced in Jammu and Kashmir. An official release said Union Minister of Done, Dr. Jitendra Singh, recently chaired a meeting with his officials and discussed various issues and developments related to the upcoming visit. Here's a report.
The key focus areas of the visit will be sustainable livelihood, giving due emphasis on women empowerment, community-based bottom-up approach, ecotourism and bamboo-based cottages. Besides exchange exposure programs of Northeast and Jammu and Kashmir, of farmers and artisans, promotional showrooms of local products, community-based natural resource management, cultural exposure and exchange programs are the other focus areas. Sanjeev Jasrotia, News Desk.
Meanwhile, Central Public Works Department CPWD has offered the Jammu and Kashmir government assistance in building economical and best quality infrastructure in the two union territories that will come into existence on October the 31st. Director General of CPWD has written to Jammu and Kashmir Chief Secretary BVR Subramaniam saying it will increase its manpower in the regions for the execution of developmental projects. Former Union Minister and Congress MP Kumari Selja will be the Congress Haryana Unit Chief, while former State Chief Minister Bhupender Singh Hooda has been appointed as Congress Legislature Party Leader and Chairman of the State Election Committee. The announcement in this regard was made by Party Haryana in charge Ghulam Nabi Azad in New Delhi. The state will go to polls later this year. Supreme Court is likely to pronounce its order on senior Congress leader P. Chidambaram's plea challenging the Delhi High Court's verdict denying him anticipatory bail plea in the INX Media money laundering case lodged by Enforcement Directorate ED. The Apex Court is also likely to pass an order on his petition challenging the issuance of the non-bailable warrant against him and the subsequent remand orders for custodial interrogation issued by the trial court in the corruption case filed by CBI. A bench of Justices R. Bhanumati and A.S. Bopanna had reserved orders on August the 29th on Chidambaram's plea in the ED case. For quick news updates, follow us on Twitter at AIR News Alerts. Well, today is Teachers' Day. It is celebrated to mark the birth anniversary of former President and great educationist Dr. Sarvapalli Radhakrishnan. President Ram Nath Kovind will confer the National Awards to Teachers 2018 in New Delhi today. Here's a desk report.
On the occasion of Teachers' Day, speeches and cultural activities are held in schools as a mark of reverence, gratitude and admiration for the invaluable contribution made by teachers to the society and the nation. President Ram Nath Kovind will confer the National Teachers Award to 46 teachers. The award is given to meritorious teachers who, through their commitment, have not only improved the quality of school education but also enriched the lives of their students. The awardees have been selected under revised guidelines to ensure a transparent and fair selection. The award carries a silver medal, a certificate and 50,000 rupees.
The President, Vice President Venkaiah Naidu and Prime Minister Narendra Modi have greeted teachers across the country on this occasion. On the occasion of Teachers' Day, government schools all over Uttar Pradesh are going to enter into a new era of digital transformation with Prerna app, which was launched by Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath yesterday. Punjab Chief Minister Amarinder Singh has ordered a magisterial inquiry into the blast at a firecracker factory in Batala, which claimed 23 lives. An official release said that the additional Deputy Commissioner Batala has been asked to conduct the probe into the incident. The explosion, which occurred yesterday, also damaged buildings nearby. Batala's senior medical officer Sanjeev Bhalla said 23 people died in the explosion and 27 were injured. An ex gratia relief of 2 lakh rupees each has been announced for relatives of those killed and 50,000 rupees each to severely injured persons. The 150th birth anniversary of Father of Nation Mahatma Gandhi will be celebrated on the 2nd of October this year. In 1918, Mahatma Gandhi started his movement for Khadi aimed at boycotting foreign cloth, and he began promoting the spinning of Khadi for rural self-employment and self-reliance. The Prime Minister, in his Mann Ki Baat address in October 2014, stressed on the need for use of Khadi products as a homage to Mahatma Gandhi.
अब जब महात्मा गांधी की बात करते हैं तो खादी की बात बहुत स्वाभाविक ध्यान में आती है। आपके परिवार में अनेक प्रकार के वस्त्र होंगे, अनेक प्रकार के फैब्रिक्स होंगे, अनेक कंपनियों के प्रोडक्ट होंगे। क्या उसमें एक खादी का नहीं हो सकता क्या? मैं सिर्फ इतना कहता हूं कि कम से कम एक चीज भले हैंडकरचीफ भले घर में नहाने का तौलिया हो सकता है बेडशीट हो, तकिए का कवर हो, पर्दा हो, कुछ तो भी हो। और ये मैं इसलिए कह रहा हूँ कि अगर आप खादी का वस्त्र खरीदते हैं तो एक गरीब के घर में दिवाली का दिया जलता है।
Talking exclusively to AIR News, Chairman of Khadi and Village Industries Commission, Vinay Kumar Saxena, said that Khadi has registered a tremendous growth after the Prime Minister's appeal.
The Khadi production, which was just 103.38 million square meter in 2014-15, has reached to 170.68 million meters in 18-19. Similarly, the Khadi sale turnover in 2015-16 was 1100 crores, which has gone to 3,215 crores. This phenomenal growth is just because of the appeal of Honorable Prime Minister, because he has always supported Khadi.
The centre has dismissed media report which claimed that all foreign journalists working in Assam have been asked to leave the state. In a series of tweets, Home Ministry spokesperson clarified that any foreign journalist, whether already based in India or not, can visit Assam after taking permission of External Affairs Ministry. The spokesperson further clarified that no protected area permit or restricted area permit is needed by a foreign journalist, as there are no such areas in Assam. Rains in Mumbai, Thane and Navi Mumbai took a halt since yesterday evening after wreaking havoc for 4 consecutive days. Life has started returning to normalcy, with water on the railway tracks receding and suburban train service resuming movement. Since yesterday evening, thousands of people were stranded at various stations across the metropolis as train services were hampered. Meanwhile, the weather department has issued a red alert with heavy to very heavy rainfall for today. British Prime Minister Boris Johnson faced a double defeat in the House of Commons yesterday after MPs turned down his motion for a general election on October the 15th. The motion calling for the vote fell far short of the required 434 supermajority to pass. After the vote went badly against Johnson, he chided opposition Labour leader Jeremy Corbyn. Earlier, MPs backed a bill aimed at blocking a no-deal Brexit if the Prime Minister hadn't agreed a plan with the EU ahead of the 31 October deadline. Both the Scottish National Party and the Liberal Democrats also criticised the Prime Minister's motion as a plot to make sure the UK left the EU without a deal. In Bahamas, the death toll has risen to 20. In Hurricane Dorian, US Coast Guard and Britain's Royal Navy are airlifting survivors and ferrying in emergency supplies. United Nations said 70,000 people on Grand Bahama and Abaco Island, virtually the entire population, were in immediate need of aid. White House said the US President Donald Trump spoke to the Bahamian leader and pledged US assistance. And now, for an overview of today's newspapers, it's over to Sanjay Mattu.
Thank you, Lalima. Modi, Putin boost defense trade ties. India and Russia both against outside influence in internal matters is the Asian Age headline. Major American apparel brands have made a case for a free trade agreement between India and the US, arguing it will attract investments and streamline trade-related issues, reports the Business Standard on its front page. No Kartarpur agreement yet, as Pak wants $20 service fee, is a headline in the Hindu. Pak also against Indian consular presence in shrine premises. The Hindustan Times reports Azhar, Hafiz and Dawood designated as terrorists under the new UAPA. The Indian Express has a story about Jhabua district in Madhya Pradesh, where villagers would take huge loans for dowry and then resort to crimes to pay them. Thanks to Ashish Saxena, Jhabua DM, there's now a capped small amount or simply no dowry in the village. And with that, it's back to you, Lalima.
Thank you, Sanjay. And now before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to address plenary session of 5th Eastern Economic Forum at Vladivostok in Russia. Holds bilateral talks with his Japanese counterpart Shinzo Abe. India and Russia call on international community to set up united front to fight terrorism. A team of Ministry of Development of Northeastern region to visit Jammu and Kashmir today to suggest new development initiatives. Punjab Chief Minister orders magisterial inquiry into Batala firecracker factory blast. Teachers' Day being celebrated today. President Ram Nath Kovind to confer national awards to teachers. And British Parliament rejects Prime Minister Boris Johnson's proposal to hold general election next month. And with that, we end the morning news.